Good morning, everyone. Let's give it one more minute. Some people are still joining in the room. So thank you, everyone. And we are also live on YouTube. You can share the link. We will share the link via the chat box. So please feel free to promote today's event on your social media.
Everyone,
And
let's give it one more.
right. So good morning, everyone. Thank you again for coming to today's event. In June 2023, the Global Network of Women Peace Builders and UN Women Asia launched the Southeast Asia Media and Women Peace and Security Award competition entitled Women's Stories at the Spotlight, Southeast Asia Media and WPS competition. This initiative, under the Empowering Women for Sustainable Peace, Preventing Violence, and Promoting Social Cohesion in the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, is generously funded by the governments of Canada, the United Kingdom, and the Republic of Korea. The competition received 49 submissions from Cambodia, Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, Timor-Leste, Thailand, and Vietnam. Today, we wrap up the first Southeast Asia Media and WPS competition, where the top three submissions from the regional media competition will be honored and awarded. Furthermore, we hope that this ceremony, one, recognizes journalists and other media practitioners whose work contributes to the awareness raising, implementation, and advancement of WPS in the region. Second, that it provides greater visibility to the winning outputs, highlighting the importance of women in building and sustaining peace. Third, challenges gender stereotypes by bringing counter narratives of women's roles and their representation in peace and security, spotlighting women as leaders and decision makers. And finally, encourages other media outlets in the region to take an interest and invest in stories that cover the implementation of the Women Peace and Security agenda and women's leadership in building and sustaining peace. And so, without further ado, I will give the floor for our opening and welcome remarks. First off, I will give the floor to Ms. Mavic Cabrera Baleza, founder and Chief Executive Officer of the Global Network of Women Peace Builders.
Thank you very much, Bianca. Do you hear me? Can you hear me well?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm happy and honored to join you today, excuse me, at this remarkable event, Women's Stories at the Spotlight, Southeast Asia Media and Women Peace and Security Competition. This is organized by the Global Network of Women Peace Builders and UN Women Indonesia with generous support from the governments of Canada, the Republic of Korea. A vital pillar of the Women Peace and Security agenda is women's leadership and participation in peace and security decision-making. And for me, this is the most important pillar because it is transformative, because it changes the perception that many women have of themselves and the perception that society has of them, from passive victims to peace builders, to leaders and decision makers. However, in media around the world, the image of women in conflict remains that of victims. That is why we launched this Media and Women Peace and Security Award. We want to acknowledge the outstanding contributions of journalists and other media practitioners who are shining the spotlight on women in conflict and crisis-affected situations in the full diversity of their roles, and especially in their roles as peace builders, leaders, and decision makers. We cannot be what we do not see. Therefore, a solid partnership with the media is essential for effectively implementing the Women, Peace, and Security agenda. Not only that, media will widen our reach in exponential ways, but it will also generate support from the broader public to implement the Women, Peace, and Security agenda across the region, Southeast Asia, and across the world. And as you know, there are now around the world 107 national action plans on women, peace, and security. But we need to do more to make this known and for more people to support the implementation. So I thank all of you for joining this celebration, and very special thanks to those who joined the competition. Advance congratulations to all of the winners.
Thank you so much, Mavic. I now pass the floor to Ms. Emily Alexander, Head of Cooperation, Mission of Canada to the ASEAN, for her welcome remarks.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished speakers. I am pleased to be with you today for the award ceremony for the Women's Stories at the Spotlight, Southeast Asia Media and WPS competition. Allow me to take this opportunity to congratulate the global network of women peace builders for their dedication in media and WPS training for over 400 journalists and media practitioners in 15 countries worldwide. Canada believes that the Regional Plan of Action is a major step in recognizing and leveraging women's participation and leadership in preventing conflict and maintaining peace in the region. Through our partnership with UN Women in support of the Empowering Women for Sustainable Peace initiative, Canada is committed to continue to work with ASEAN to support the Regional Plan of Action and its future implementation. With our $8.5 million contribution to the initiative, we continue to support the provision of technical and research assistance, training, coordination efforts, the sharing of best practices, networking, and monitoring of progress, as well as the development of individual national action plans on women, peace, and security and policy frameworks. Never before has broadening the women, peace, and security agenda been more important to achieving sustainable peace in ASEAN and around the world. The new Women, Peace, and Security Awards, launched in 2020, recognize the achievements of leading women peace activists, from practitioners to researchers worldwide. The awards also acknowledge civil society organizations and networks who are making outstanding contributions to advancing women, peace, and security, both in Canada and in fragile and conflict situations. Likewise, we are pleased that through the Women, Peace, and Security initiative that we support, the global network of women peace builders, together with the UN Women, has launched the Southeast Asia Media and WPS Award competition. I sincerely congratulate all journalists, media practitioners, influencers, and the award winners who play key roles in portraying and reporting on women's role in peace and security and promoting the WPS agenda. And I would like to invite all of you to continue this good practice to promote women's role in peace and security. Please tag us in social media so we can further the good stories and inspiration. Thank you. Terima kasih.
Thank you so much, Emily. Shall we give our welcoming remarks, our speakers, a round of applause or emojis, reactions? Thank you. I now pass the floor to Ms. Rowena Paraan. She is the training director of the Philippine Center for Investigative Journalism, and she will give a keynote speech just to explain why the media's critical role in promoting the women, peace, and security agenda. So, Ms. Wang, the floor is yours.
Hi, thank you, Bianca. I hope my audio is clear. Good morning, everyone. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. That's good morning, the Philippines. It's a great privilege to join you here this morning for this exciting activity. I want to express my gratitude to the Global Network of Women Peace Builders and its partners for the opportunity to speak before you, as well as for GNWP's wonderful work in advancing the role of women, especially in the areas of peace and security. Today, we converge in a shared commitment to look at stories about women, stories that stir emotions and challenge long-held misconceptions. These stories are not just narratives, they are windows into the strength, resilience, and transformative power of women. Misconceptions or preconceived ideas that are not based on facts or realities can be particularly damaging when they limit or underestimate the potential of any group. And for too long, women have faced a myriad of misconceptions about their abilities, their roles in society, and their contributions to various fields. Today's gathering recognizes how women stand as pillars of strength in their communities, their countries, and the world. Today's activity stresses the importance of telling the stories of women to inspire action, bridge gaps, and transform perspectives. One of the most enduring misconceptions is the belief that women are passive victims in the throes of conflict and insecurity. But as we delve into the reports of women from Southeast Asia, we uncover a different truth. Their stories resonate with the tenacity of those who refuse to be relegated to the role of victims. We actually have many great women peace builders in the region. An example is the story of Miriam Coronel Ferrer, this year's Ramon Magsaysay Awardee. The Ramon Magsaysay Award is Asia's equivalent to the Nobel Peace Prize, right? Let me read the entry in the website of the Ramon Magsaysay Foundation about Miriam. I quote, "In a world torn and threatened by wars, the work of advancing and sustaining peace is an urgent imperative. Women in their gendered role of settling the disputes, healing, and nurturing have risen to the task in many conflict-ridden communities. However, they have typically been left out of the decision-making processes that are crucial in ending wars and transforming the polity. A peace negotiator in the Philippines, Miriam Coronel Ferrer, has been changing this landscape." End of quote. Government negotiations with our Muslim brothers have been going on for decades, but it took a woman leading the negotiation panel for a peace agreement to be finally signed. Miriam is a living repudiation to the idea that gender is irrelevant to matters of security and conflict resolution. Another story that debunks the misconception that women's involvement is irrelevant is the story of Angkana Nila Paijit. I'm sorry, I know I'm not pronouncing the name right. Angkana founded the Justice for Peace Foundation, a network that documents the human rights situation in southern Thailand. It provides legal assistance to victims and trains women on human rights and the peace process. Angkana was eventually named Commissioner of the National Human Rights Commission of Thailand, and she was the only commission member with grassroots human rights experience. One of her published quotes is the assertion that most women experience conflict and violence in a different way than men. Let us not forget that the involvement of women in peace and security is not a recent trend, but a legacy that has been carried forward through history. The stories of historical women from Southeast Asia, like Kartini from Indonesia and Teresa Magbanwa from the Philippines, remind us that women have always been at the forefront of peace and security. So how can telling the stories of women address misconceptions? Stories have a remarkable ability to reveal truths. And when it comes to misconceptions about women, stories, especially if well-crafted and well-researched, have the power to be a force for change. They can inspire, challenge, and unite us in the fight for a world where women's roles are celebrated. Women's stories from Southeast Asia, and indeed from around the world, are more than just narratives. They are reminders that women are not victims, but victors, and their contributions are not limited, but limitless. Each story is a voice for change. Together, they are a symphony of women power and resilience. Again, thank you for this opportunity. Congratulations to everyone who joined and also the winners. Salamat.
Thank you so much, Rowena, for that amazing keynote speech. We are very, very happy and grateful that you are able to share your time and space with us today. I think we learned a lot, and it really just drives the inspiration towards, the other half of today's event, where we actually award and showcase stories we've received from this competition. And so now, to move forward with the awarding ceremony, I will give the floor to Dr. Hasmin Nario Galase. She's the Senior Program Director at the Global Network of Women Peace Builders, to give us an overview of the media competition and the selection process of our top 3 winners. Dr. J, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Bianca. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Great. So good morning, everyone. I am delighted to share with you today the criteria used for judging and the judging process itself. We have both long listing and short listing criteria. And here are the long listing ones. Now, first, entries must be produced by a journalist and or media practitioner, including independent writers, bloggers, influencers, and youth working in an Asian country. 2, entries must contain a minimum of 500 and a maximum of 1,500 words for written submission, or a minimum of 5 and a maximum of 15 minutes for audio or audiovisual submissions. 3, entries must have been published after January 1, 2021, or be scheduled to be published no later than December 31, 2023 via print, online media, TV, or radio. We assign points for each criterion outlined in the long listing criteria. The short listing criteria used to narrow down and select a smaller, more specific list of entries for further consideration are as follows. First criterion, advancement of the Women, Peace and Security Agenda, Women, Peace and Security Approach, and the ASEAN Regional Plan of Action on Women, Peace and Security, 30 points. This signifies that the article or video should actively contribute to promoting at least one of the 4 core pillars of the WPS agenda, specifically focusing on women's meaningful participation in peace and security, protection of women's rights in the midst of conflict and humanitarian crisis, conflict prevention, and the application of gender-sensitive approaches to relief and recovery. It should also promote the ASEAN Regional Plan of Action on Women, Peace and Security. Furthermore, the material should align with the overarching theme, addressing the critical aspects of women, peace, and security, while showcasing a deep comprehension of WPS. It should shed light on the repercussions of conflict and the roles of women in conflict and other crisis scenarios, such as the impact of the COVID pandemic. The material should serve as an inspirational tool, encouraging the effective implementation of WPS, including the ASEAN RPA on WPS and national action plans, or at least one of the key pillars of the resolution. The second criterion is gender responsive and gender transformative perspective, which was given 30 points. The material should adopt a transformative narrative, portraying women as active agents of peace rather than mere victims during conflicts and other crisis situations, as emphasized by our CEO in her opening remarks. It should also actively contribute to the promotion of grassroots organizations and leaders' contributions to the WPS agenda in Southeast Asia. The material should consistently demonstrate gender and conflict sensitivity while fostering inclusivity. The third criterion, structure and substance, for which we allocated 15 points. The material should adopt a solution-oriented approach. It must be thoroughly researched and substantiated with accurate, up-to-date facts and statistics that are appropriately cited. The material should effectively make the key messages of WPS comprehensible to a broader audience. It should ensure clarity, ease of understanding, and effective conveyance of the intended message. The last criterion, uniqueness and creativity, for which we allocated 15 points. The material should be compelling and engaging, incorporating well-integrated visual elements to enhance reader engagement. It should exhibit uniqueness and innovation, providing fresh perspectives and insights on the topic. So how did the selection process unfold? We received a total of 39 entries from 5 countries, namely Indonesia, East Timor, Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam. So GNWP and UN Women meticulously evaluated all the entries in accordance with the established criteria and subsequently presented 9 finalists to the Board of Judges. This panel of judges consisted of myself, representing GNWP, Ms. Brita Widyanarko from the FCDO of the Government of the United Kingdom, and Ms. Rufa Guillaume, a columnist at the Philippine Daily Inquirer. I believe that both Ms. Brita and Ms. Rufa are here with us today. Out of the 9 finalists, the 3 panel members collectively determined the top 3. The selection process was far from straightforward given the exceptional quality of many of the entries. Our heartfelt congratulations extend to all those who submitted their work. In the end, our choices were guided by the criteria, leading to the selection of the deserving winners. To all the entrants, we express our gratitude. We encourage you to persist in your efforts to shed light on women who actively contribute to the cause of peace, the building of peace, and the prevention of war and violence from becoming the norm in our communities and countries. It's high time that women cease to be portrayed as mere victims. It's time to acknowledge the leadership in matters of peace and security. The media sector stands as a potent force in realizing the objectives outlined by the Women, Peace, and Security Agenda. We urge you to continue telling the stories of these remarkable women. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Hasmin. And so now we go to the most exciting part of today's event, the showcase of the Southeast Asia Media and WPS winners. To make it a bit more exciting, we have actually asked our top 3 winners to send in videos. So it's a creative video presentations, which features the stories that were chosen by our panel of judges. And so in these videos, they would be explaining what their story is about and the process of completing and developing their stories. We ask everyone to please watch the screen as our top 3 share their personal stories of creating their media and WPS entries, and we will be sharing their bios via the chat in the Zoom, so you get to know them a bit more. So without further ado, I pass the floor to our tech team, and let's watch.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Faidia Samanudi Ahmad. I am the Executive Director of Bangsamoro Multimedia Network, BMN Incorporated, and a multimedia journalist. I am the producer and writer of documentary film on Babaeng Bangsamoro na Nanindigan. I am an advocate for women empowerment, gender sensitivity, development in Islamic perspective. The story of Babaeng Bangsamoro na Nanindigan is all about the life and struggle of Bangsamoro women on right to self-determination. It depicted their hardship, devotion, and contributions that helped in attaining what we are now enjoying as part of the gains of the Bangsamoro peace process in the southern part of the Philippines, the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. The struggles in the Bangsamoro for several decades have reached various levels and in different forms. These include armed struggle, political struggle, and democratic struggle. All of these means of achieving the quest for solving the Bangsamoro questions have become part of their mission. These 3 Bangsamoro women storytellers that have now become members of Bangsamoro Transition Authority are Honorable Engineer Aida M. Silungan, Honorable Attorney Mary Ann M. Arnado, and Honorable Attorney Raisa H. Jajuri. Their struggles and resilience amidst difficulties in fighting for the right to self-determination of the Bangsamoro people portrayed the strong spirit and determination in their commitment to peace and development for the brighter future of the next generation. I was inspired in doing this documentary film when I realized that there is a need for our Bangsamoro women leaders who fought for Bangsamoro right to self-determination to be documented and their stories be preserved for the generations to come. And some of our women leaders who have sacrificed their life in quest for Bangsamoro freedom have already passed away, and we miss to document their struggles in life during the revolution. This is also a way of recognizing their contributions in achieving peace and development in the Bangsamoro homeland. It must be known to the whole world that the Bangsamoro struggle is unique because women have played a vital role in nation building and in achieving aspirations of the Bangsamoro people. I knew them. These three Bangsamoro women, I saw the spirit of each of them while they continue to fight for injustices, security, and safety of women and children, and their vision for progressive Bangsamoro community in the region. Because I am also part of their activities, especially during the deliberations of Bangsamoro Organic Law in Congress and Senate of the Philippines. So I want with my team in the Bangsamoro Multimedia Network or BMN to document this unique story of Bangsamoro women because this will serve as living document and the next generations in the whole world may be inspired of what they have done for the struggle, telling us that if we work hard with sincerity, then peace, justice, and development is achievable. One of the challenges I encountered together with our technical team is on how are we going to tailor the stories and be able to connect to the stories of other thousands of women in the Bangsamoro who were also part of the Bangsamoro struggle, and how these three storytellers will be able to represent the voice of women in the Bangsamoro. We have submitted several concepts contextualizing this documentary film to Probe Media Foundation Incorporated, who assisted us in this film for it to become unique. And we got various feedbacks and revisions, even changing of target storytellers. But at the end of the day, finally, agreed to the concept and worked it for the period of 3 months to come up with a good film. As a media practitioner, while doing this story, I can relate because I am also a Bangsamoro and I saw the agonies of fellow Bangsamoro during the height of armed struggle. However, I chose to become a journalist so that I can write and post stories like this. These three Bangsamoro women leaders have the strength and power in dealing with conflicts, finding solutions to the problems, and even celebrating those small victories they have achieved, which have been the result of their patience, perseverance, and dedication for the Bangsamoro people, especially for women. And I want to journey with them on this milestone that they have achieved so far. I also reflected that the importance of sharing the stories of these women becomes an inspiration for all. That if we work together for security, in defense of the rule of law, for peace and development, truly nothing is impossible. For me, the narratives of the women's contributions and efforts must be given importance. It must be preserved, and we should retell those in the future, because those convey an important message that women are not just a partner of men, but also frontliners and champions of moral governance. Wa shukran, wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello, my name is Kusuma Sariawinning Tias, and you can call me Tias. I'm a freelance journalist based in Indonesia, and in this video, I would like to explain about my story that I submit for Southeast Asia Media and Women Peace and Security competitions. My story is about a woman named Lisa Vita Siku or Vita. She is a mother of two working for Maligi Village Office website in Klaten, Central Java. Why she wants to become a volunteer? She say that she wants to set a good example for her kids that humanity is above everything. When Vita decided to become a volunteer, Klaten at the peak of the pandemic of COVID-19, and the death number reached 80 to 100 people per day, and every one burial need at least 3 hours, with minimum 4 volunteers to 6 volunteers. In the district where Vita registered, there were only 33 volunteers, and out of that number, only 4 were women. Vita faced a very high risk of an exposure and transmission of COVID-19, but she still carried on because what's in her thought that time that there were not enough volunteers, so she had to go on in the field. She had to go out in the field and do what she can. As a woman, Vita also faced various stigmas because she often go back home very late, sometimes until 3 a.m. in the morning, and it makes her as the subject of gossip in her village. Even though Vita had to bury body at 3 a.m. in the morning, she still had to work at 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And also, Vita still served as field facilitator for Desa Damai or Peace Village, a program initiated by Wakit Foundation and supported by UN Women. And one thing that's very important to note that Vita did not get any payment for her voluntary work. So it is mean that Vita sacrificed her recent time to become a volunteer and all of that for the sake of humanity. What inspired me to write about Vita is her selflessness and dedication in the face of challenging and critical situations, and Vita's willingness to step up and become a volunteer for the burial of COVID-19 victims during the pandemic, despite being a working mother with a very significant responsibilities, it was truly inspiring for me. And her commitment to her community and her desire to set a positive example for her children, also all of those qualities deserve recognition and admiration. And I think that Vita's story can be an example of the human spirit and the importance of community support during the times of crisis. The challenge while covering Vita's story was that I could not get too close. I was not allowed to enter the room where they were performing their duties, where they do all of the preparation, and I also not able to getting photos on site. It was very difficult because I still have to keep my distance from the burial process in the cemetery. So I I contact my editor, and Deutschfeld had their own policies due to that kind of difficulties, and they say that I could use Vita's private collections for the publication with her permissions. My reflection as a media practitioner covering women's stories is that, in a sense, as a female media practitioner, our role is not only to report news but also to promote positive changes and challenge societal norms. And Vita's story is a testament to the resilience and the courage of women, and also this story can inspire others while also advocating the gender equality.
Hi, my name is Raquel Carvalho and I am an independent journalist. I have covered Asia for about 15 years and my latest work has mostly been focused on issues around migration, human trafficking, gender equality and cross-border security. In the past year, I wrote several stories that highlighted the role of women in conflict prevention. That's what brings me here today. First of all, thank you for selecting the story I worked on, which was focused on a mother and a daughter who are smashing religious and gender stereotypes and who are helping to resolve conflicts in the Philippines. The story was published in This Week in Asia, a South China Morning Post magazine. The anchor of the story is Connie Dumato, a 62-year-old Muslim woman. She grew up amidst bloody conflicts in southern Philippines. Back then, as a younger woman, she was on the front lines treating those who were fighting in the streets. Now, as a retiree and the leader of a grassroots mediation group, she mediates conflicts in her community with the help of her children, including her 27-year-old daughter, who is a school teacher and who I also interviewed for this piece. This was the first in a series of stories on the role of women in peace-building efforts and security across Asia, which were published in December last year. The other two articles were focused on women in Thailand and Indonesia. So this story was part of a series that took many months of reporting and writing. As you all know, women and girls are disproportionately impacted by conflict, but many of them play remarkable roles that often go unnoticed. So the goal of this series was not only to highlight how women have been impacted by conflict, but also to show what women are doing on the ground to help their communities. It was unavoidable to do a story focused on the Philippines because it's home to Asia's longest running insurgency, and it is also one of the most disaster-prone countries in the world. Even though this particular story was focused on two women, a mother and a daughter, I interviewed other remarkable women in the Philippines who ended up not being included in this story due to space constraints, but who are making very important contributions to their communities. Needless to say, those interviews were essential to better understanding the situation on the ground, as well as the work that women have done in Mindanao. Another challenge was to explain this particular conflict to a global audience, to make people care about it and relate to it. Generally speaking, I would say that there is a greater appetite for women's stories, but more on-the-ground reporting is needed. There is still a lack of funding opportunities, especially for independent journalists who want to work on long-term projects and report on the ground. As the world faces growing security challenges, prizes like this and funding opportunities are more important than ever. Once again, thank you very much for launching these awards and for having me today.
And there we have it. Those are our top 3 winners for the Southeast Asia Media and WPS competition. Shall we give them a virtual round of applause for now? And we go to the next part of this particular session of today's event. It's the announcement of the results. And so I would give the floor first to Mavic Cabrera-Baleza again, the CEO and founder of GNWP, to announce the 3rd place from our top 3. So Mavic, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Bianca. And yeah, I got very engrossed listening to our winners. And here it's very interesting to hear the stories behind the stories. So yeah, congratulations. But before I present the third prize winner or the award to the third prize winner, I want to reinforce the words of Miss Emily Alexander from the Mission of Canada to the ASEAN about the importance of the Regional Plan of Action on Women, Peace, and Security in the region. The Regional Plan of Action promotes greater collaboration and coherence among ASEAN member states, the United Nations, civil society, media, and other stakeholders in their response to women, peace, and security issues, and consequently, achieving inclusive and sustainable peace in the region. The media and WPS Women, Peace, and Security Training and the competition that the Global Network of Women, Peace, and Security organizes with support from UN Women and, of course, to our generous donors, draw broader attention to the Regional Plan of Action and generate greater support for its effective implementation. So the National Action Plans and the Regional Plan of Action, as well as local action plans in some of the countries, would all would all be more effectively implemented in partnership with the media. So now, the third prize winner, as we already heard from her, Kusumari Ayonitias from Indonesia, highlighted the story of a courageous woman who works as a website manager and volunteers to bury the bodies of COVID-19 victims at the height of the pandemic. The story illustrates how women bravely step up in crisis to care for their communities. So it is with great pride that I present this award to Kusumari Ayonitias. Congratulations, Kusumari.
Congrats, Tias. So we'll give the floor to Tias for a short thank you note. Congratulations, Tias.
Hello, Bianca. Hello, Miss Masi. Yes. Hello, everyone. Hey, Bianca, Yumi, Dr. G, Rowena. I really miss you all. I really wish this will be on site, but okay. And thank you for the GNWP, UN Women, the Republic of Korea, the United Kingdom Embassy representation, the Embassy of Canada, and all of the committee to choose my story. And I wish I can continue to spread the message, the positive message, while still continue advocating gender sensitivity, gender equality, and inclusivity with my work. And okay, thank you again, everyone. See you next time, next opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Tias, and congratulations for being our third place winner. And in the links, we will be sharing the links to the winning pieces as we go through today, so you can read through those as well. For second place, I will pass the floor to Ms. Rice Chanchay, ASEAN Governance, Peace and Security Specialist and Regional Program Lead from UN Women, to announce her second place. Rice, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Bianca, and very good morning to you all. I'm very, very pleased to have the opportunity to be part of these very exciting events this morning. And the second winner for the Southeast Asian Media and WPS Prize goes to Ms. Fadia Samanodi Ahmad under her story titled Babeng Bangsamoro Nanadidingan. Apologies if my pronunciation is not so great. So very, very congratulations to you. Over to the winner, the second place.
Idea, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, and good morning to every one of us here. Thank you for the opportunity giving to us, to our multimedia network, the Bangsamoro Multimedia Network here in the BARMM, Philippines. It's really an honor for us that you give us this kind of opportunity to share our story, a story from the Bangsamoro, the true story that we gathered from different women who are being empowered in sharing their experiences and sharing their true life story from being a professional, a combatant, and a street fighter in those days of them, and now they become a policymaker of the Bangsamoro government. And I myself is really thankful for the opportunity that you choose the story that we write. It's really an overwhelmed. I really feel overwhelmed that you chose our story, the story that I wrote, and together with my technical team here in the Bangsamoro Multimedia Network. Thank you so much. And most of all, thank you to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for giving us this kind of blessing. This is the very first time of award of Bangsamoro Multimedia Network for Southeast Asia. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Faidia, and congratulations again for being our second place winner. You can watch her entry. It's in the link in our Zoom chat. And for first place, I pass the floor to Mr. Harrison Macy, Head of Development from the UK mission to the ASEAN. Harrison, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Bianca. It's a pleasure to be here. Congratulations to all of the winners today. I'm really pleased to be here from the UK mission to ASEAN. I'm really pleased that we're able to support this important event. And so I think everyone kind of worked out who the first place winner was today by now, but it's my pleasure to confirm that Raquel Carvalho is our first place winner today for her piece entitled "The Philippine Superwoman Smashes Religious Gender Stereotypes to Resolve Conflicts with Help from Her Daughter." Really excellent piece. I'm really pleased to be able to confirm that Raquel is our first place winner today. So thank you. And I'll hand over the floor to Raquel. Thank you.
Raquel, the floor is yours.
Hi, good morning. Thank you very much. I must say I was not expecting to win this award. I'm very honored to be here today. And I'd like to share this award with all the interviewees, in particular, women who shared their stories with me over the years and who are contributing to peace and security in their communities. Thank you again for this award and for having me today. And congratulations to the other two winners. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Raquel, and congratulations for being our first place winner. And to all our winners for today, thank you so much for your submissions. We've received a lot, and just to say, it was a difficult judging process. I'm sure our judges can attest to that, as we've received very different and colorful stories from Southeast Asia. And so now we proceed towards the end of today's event. We have the closing message from Mr. Jamshed Kazi. He is the UN Women Indonesia representative and liaison to the ASEAN, and he is here via video recording. So, very.
Excellencies, representatives from the global network of women peace builders, representatives of the mission of Canada to ASEAN and the mission of UK to ASEAN, representatives from the media, ladies and gentlemen. As we wrap up this remarkable event, I want to take a moment to commend the exceptional talents behind the winning entries of this media award. Your narratives have not only moved us, but they have also illuminated the extraordinary endeavors of women working relentlessly to foster peace and security within the region. Your work serves as a powerful testament to the indispensable role of the media in shedding light on the pivotal contributions of women in shaping our global narrative of peace. In a world where the media holds the reins of public perception, it becomes imperative to recognize its pivotal responsibility in dispelling gender biases and stereotypes. It is disheartening to note that even prominent international media platforms have fallen short in providing a fair representation of women, often relegating them to roles that fail to showcase their expertise and agency. The portrayal of women in media often appears as vulnerable, victims of violence, or those who are in need of help. According to the Global Media Monitoring Project, launched in 2021, only 13% of television newscasts had women as subjects and sources.
Oh, we're having some technical difficulties. Give us 1 second. That was not the end of Jamshed's message, just just to be sure. Allow us to we will, there we go. Okay.
While only 21% in digital news stories. These media include well-known media giants such as Al Jazeera, BBC News, CNN International, France 24, Reuters, etc. And when women do appear in the news, they are still more likely to appear in unexceptional roles as personal experience providers and popular opinion givers rather than experts. However, the captivating stories we have encountered today prove that there exists a rich tapestry of narratives waiting to be unearthed. Narratives that portray women as leaders, innovators, negotiators, frontline workers during COVID-19, and agents of change. And that is precisely why an initiative like this media competition holds such profound significance. It serves as a compelling catalyst, urging us to uncover and disseminate the narratives of extraordinary women in peace and security in this region. By doing so, we can shatter existing harmful gender stereotypes that hinder women from reaching their full potential. As this region will soon celebrate its first anniversary of the adoption of the ASEAN Regional Plan of Action on Women, Peace and Security, this event marks one of our efforts to promote its implementation and to advocate for meaningful participation and inclusion of women in all aspects of peace and security, in preventing conflicts, participating in the decision-making process, and leading the peace-building and peacekeeping efforts. And we call upon the media to continue to closely follow the progress and at times the stumbling blocks of the WPS agenda in our region. Please continue showcasing the remarkable women in our societies and highlighting them as role models for future generations to aspire to. Let us join hands in urging governments to take bold steps in fulfilling their commitment to advancing the implementation of the Regional Plan of Action on WPS. And let us continue changing mindsets and attitudes towards a fairer world where no one is left behind. I extend my heartfelt appreciation to the global networks of women peace builders for working with UN Women and orchestrating this compelling media competition. My sincere gratitude also goes to our esteemed partners and allies, including the governments of Canada, the Republic of Korea, and the United Kingdom for their unwavering support to this significant initiative. Last, but certainly not least, I express my deepest gratitudes to all the participants whose remarkable stories have enriched our understanding. I look forward to reading more stories, as there can never be enough stories about the role of women sustaining peace and preventing conflicts. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much to Jamshed for that closing message. And before we let everyone go and, continue on with their day, we would kindly ask for a group photo. So if you feel comfortable turning on your cameras, now is the time. And the GNWP communications team will be taking a photo of everyone. And again, congratulations to our winners, Raquel, Faidia, and Tias. Congrats. We will be reaching out for the continuation and we'll be sharing your pieces as well online. So thank you all. It's nice to see everyone. So So I don't know, Nike, is it 3? Just let us know. Please cue us.
Okay, Bianca, would you like to count it down?
Go ahead, Ree.
Okay, okay. Smile, everyone. 1, 2, 3. Again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's all done.
Thank you so much, everyone. Congratulations
so
to our
much.
winners. And have a good day. Have a good rest of
Thank
your day.
you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.